Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This week my name is Osereme. In today's video I'm sharing with you how to make a ruffle hairband. So if this is your first time on here, please do well to subscribe to the channel and like the video, and don't forget to leave me a comment in the comment section. If you're a returning subscriber, you're especially welcome. In today's video I'm going to be making use of these materials here to make a scrunchy hairband. So let's go straight into this video. To create this hairband, the first thing I did was to cut out my major pieces that I will be needing. So the biggest piece of fabric here, this is measured 32 inches by 9 inches wide. This second one is measured 3.5 inches wide by 16 inches long. Then the last one is 10 inches long and 2 inches wide. So the first thing I'm going to do is to fold this biggest part, which is this longest part, into two, like you see me doing like this, and I'm going to measure 7 inches from the edge. I'm just going to mark 7 inches from the edge here, and I'm also going to do the same thing on the other side. After marking this 7 inches here, I'm going to mark down to the end of the fabric here. I'm going to mark 1 inch down, and I'm also going to do it on this side, mark 1 inch down. So what I'm going to do now is to make a curve to connect the 2 points on both sides. So now I'm just going to use my scissors to trace out these marks I've made here, and on both sides I'm just going to cut it out, as you see me doing like this. So now that I'm done cutting it out, what I'm going to do now is to take these pieces to my sewing machine. I'm going to stitch it down on this rough edge here. So I'm going to stitch each one down, and the biggest fabric I'm going to stitch down on the curved edge. I'm going to basically stitch all 3 of them down. So this is what it looks like. I've stitched it down using my sewing machine, and now I'm just going to turn it to the right side using my safety pin. So guys, I'm done turning it out. As you can see, I went ahead to iron out the 2 small pieces here. I did not iron the bigger part because I needed to be able to create that ruffle effect. So now I'm going to cut out my elastic band for the back. You know, the back pieces, the one I'm going to use for the elastic band is 16 inches, so I just cut half of that for the elastic band, which is what I'm going to place inside it using my safety pin as well. So when the elastic band got to the end of the fabric, I held it in place using my pin, just so I don't keep going back and forth in the process of putting this elastic. If I don't hold it in place, it's going to follow me, it's going to go right inside the piece, and it's going to come out through the other side, and I'm just going to be going back and forth with this process. So when I got to the end of this, to this other end as well, I held it down with a pin and went onto my sewing machine to stitch it down before I can hold it freely. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to keep this aside now, and I'm going to place this rope here just the same way I placed the elastic band into this other band I made earlier. I'm going to place this rope piece here into the bigger piece. So this is what's going to create the ruffle effect on the bigger piece. So I'm just going to still use my sewing safety pin, sorry, and I'm going to place it inside just the same way I did on the elastic band. I am going to ensure that the rope doesn't go through all the way through. I'm going to hold it in place when it gets to the center. When it gets to the end of the fabric, hold it in place with my safety pin, just so I don't keep going back and forth in this process. So also at this end, I'm going to hold it down with a pin as well, and after which I'm going to take all two pieces to my sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch it down on both ends. So now I will go to my sewing machine and stitch it down here, here and here, and at the same time I'm going to do the same thing on the elastic band. So here is what it looks like after I've stitched it down. This is what it's looking like, and you can see that it already has this ruffle effect on the front part of the hairband. So what I'm going to do now is to place, you see this part here in where I stitch it down, that's going to be the back of this hairband. So what I'm going to do is to place the right side facing each other, like you see me doing like this. I'm going to place the one with the elastic band right in the middle, and I'm going to cover it up with the sides of the bigger part, that's the ruffle parts of the hairband. And what I'm going to do is to take this to my sewing machine and stitch it down here, and I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. So guys, this is what it looks like after I've done it for both sides and stitch it down with my sewing machine. What I'm going to do now is just to pull on the elastic band, and that covers it. You can see how it's covered here, and I'm also going to do the same thing for the other side. And this is basically all for this, but this is the back. I just have to turn it to the front, so this is the right side. And this is how to make a simple ruffle hairband or a scrunchy hairband, whatever it is you call it. So thank you so much guys for watching this video to the end. Thank you so much for clicking on the subscribe button, and if you've not already subscribed, please do well to subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. I will see you in my next video.